Oh, man, not done a video in so long. It's great. Okay, why am I nervous? Why am I nervous? I don't know. Anyway, okay. Hey guys, welcome back. It has been such a long time. My hair is so long. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't get a haircut. I haven't been able to get a haircut now for almost 2 months. So this is probably the longest my hair has ever been, and it's crazy. It's like, it's so long. It's so long. It's kind of cool. I kind of like it. My last video has been, what, 8 months now, I think? But anyway, for those of you who have been following along with me on Instagram or Facebook, seeing my journeys, Europe's incredible. I love Europe. But I'm not videoing you in Europe right now. I am actually back home in Jacksonville, Florida. And currently right now I'm in my grandparents' garage filming this video. Just over a month after I moved, my grandpa passed away. I thought it'd be cool to be in front of my grandpa's signs. He loved his signs. His garage was his place. If you knew my grandpa, you knew that's where he always was. A lot of my other videos I try, to be positive and upbeat. Yay, life is great, life's perfect. But this video will be a little heavier. I'm going to share my experience with coronavirus in Madrid, Spain. A lot happened, and I'm going to try to make this video short. So I will be sharing my experience with COVID-19. So everyone knows, just about, I moved to Spain last August, and I've been living there for a long time. I loved Spain, I loved Europe. But back in the end of February, I went with a friend, Diego. He's such a cool dude. He and I went snowboarding, and we went to a little small country called Andorra. You probably haven't heard of it. It's located in the middle of the Pyrenees Mountains. I believe that I contracted the virus on my way there to Andorra. At the time, we knew about coronavirus. We knew that it was, impacting Italy. We knew that it was kind of in Spain. We had our first few cases in Madrid. There wasn't much of a panic, so we decided to still go skiing on the ski trip we had planned. We flew from Madrid, Spain to Barcelona, Spain. From Barcelona, we had to take about 4-hour bus ride to the country of Andorra. I think that I got the virus in the Barcelona airport. After Barcelona, about 2 days into our trip in Andorra, I started coughing. We were making jokes at the time. We were joking like, oh, I've got the virus. Oh man, you've got the virus. Just little stuff like that because we didn't think it was that serious. Surely I couldn't have gotten the virus. There were only maybe 30 cases of it in this whole country of Spain. After our ski trip, my sinuses just went crazy. I was getting sinus pressure headaches all the time. My nose was constantly running. My throat started hurting really, really bad. I woke up one morning and my throat, out of nowhere, it just hurt so bad. For me to swallow, for me even to talk, to do anything, my throat was hurting. I thought, oh, I have bad sinuses anyway, so I thought it wasn't anything major. Then over the course of the next few days, I started getting a fever. It was average about 39.3, which in Fahrenheit is like probably 102, high 102, 103. For about 5 days, I was consistent and I had that fever. I would take Advil, ibuprofen, Tylenol to lower the fever or to end the chills and the fatigue that I had, but it always kept coming back. I went to the hospital probably about 3 days after Andorra, and I was told I just had the flu. I had bad sinuses. They told me I just had a form of gripe. Gripe is Spanish for flu. So I was like, okay. I go home. About 3 days later, I go back to the hospital, and I'm like, y'all, I think I have this virus. I'm so tired all the time. I'm not eating. I have a fever nonstop. I went back to the hospital. They did breathing tests on me. They checked my lungs. They did all these things. But they would not diagnose me with coronavirus because at the time in Spain, they were only passing out tests or administering tests to people who were older and could have serious complications from this virus. So they didn't test me. But I remember sitting in the room with the doctor and the nurse and my Spanish dad who I was living with. They told me that you have a respiratory infection. And I looked at the nurse and I told her, I was like, coronavirus. And she looked at me and she nodded her head yes. So in that moment, I knew, oh my gosh, I have this virus. They know I have this virus. They're just not able to officially test me. So the doctor told me, he's like, you're quarantined for 2 weeks, don't come out. Stay in your apartment, you know, don't leave for anything. I was very fortunate because I lived with a Spanish family and they were so helpful. Oh my gosh, my Spanish family was incredible. Then it got a little worse. About 3 days after me being stuck in my apartment, that's when I noticed, okay, I'm having problems breathing. I was laying in bed nonstop. I was so tired, I was so fatigued, I could not get out of bed. Finally, I got up to take a shower, and when I was in the shower, I realized, like, washing my hair, you know, trying to just lift my hands up to wash my hair, I was out of breath, and I had to focus. I had to think, oh my gosh, breathe in, out. I had to think to do this because my legs started going numb, my arms and my hands were tingling. I knew it was because I was not getting oxygen to my body. This was serious, I needed help. So I called out to my Spanish parents, Pilar, Valentin, guys, please come help, I can't breathe. So they rushed in my room, they helped me sit down, and I remember just dripping wet because I just got out of the shower. But I had to focus, breathe. To me, that was like, okay, this is not cool. I need to go to the emergency room. I was in the emergency room waiting area for about 5 hours. And I remember noticing everyone was coughing, everyone had problems breathing. There were people sitting next to me who were just breathing so heavy. Wow, all these people are from Spain. They're Spanish citizens, I'm not. I'm probably not gonna be able to be seen. I'm probably not gonna be able to be treated due to me being an American. I'm not a Spanish citizen. There could be complications with that. They finally took me and took x-rays of my lungs. When they came back about an hour later, they came to me and said, we're going to keep you, you have severe pneumonia. At least I'm not going to be sent home again, they'll keep me here, this is good. They went through paperwork trying to figure out, okay, how do we get this American who's not a Spanish citizen in this hospital with us? So they did a lot of paperwork and then they finally were able to take me in. They walked me to this room, they opened a door, and on the other side of this room is when it all hit me. Like, wow, this is a whole lot more serious than I thought. After I passed these doors, I saw hospital bed after hospital bed lined up, and everyone in those beds, they were coughing, they couldn't breathe, and they had to be at least over the age of 50. I didn't see anyone that was close to my age. I remember walking to the bed that they were putting me in and passing old person after old person after old person who couldn't breathe. They were suffocating. I remember thinking, this is the most overwhelmed I've ever been in my life. I was alone, I didn't speak the language well, I wasn't a Spanish citizen, and I'm fighting a virus that no one knows how to fight. I was in that room with all those other people for about 8 hours, and during those 8 hours there was an older woman next to me. In this bed, she had to have been in her 80s, and whenever the nurses would come to wake her up to take her medicine, she would just let out this soft little cry, and that broke my heart hearing that for so long. They unhooked me from all the machines and they took my bed to an individual hospital room. That was good. Now I was in a room by myself. There weren't 80 people around me coughing, you know, nurses everywhere. I could finally get some sleep. A couple hours later, they wheeled in another older gentleman. He pushed me over to the wall. They put him in that room. So for about the next 4 days, it was just me and this other gentleman. He didn't speak any English. We were told by the doctors, we don't have time to go around and check on every single patient in this hospital. Please communicate with each other, make sure each other's okay. I hardly got out of bed. I would get out of bed to use the restroom. That was about it, because walking from my bed the 10, 15 steps to the bathroom wore me out. I was not eating. My weight had gone down to about 171 pounds. That's really light for me. I went over to Spain weighing well over 200 pounds. I had been in the hospital for about 5 days at this point. I had no visitors. No one could come see me. So I was just lonely. So I started reaching out to all my friends, you know, FaceTiming. I FaceTimed probably 50 people. I made a video, and if you're on my Instagram or if you're on my Facebook, you saw this. I decided to reach out to Ryan Seacrest, who I love that guy, and Henry Cavill, who's my favorite actor. I made this video like, hey, I'm in this hospital. Send me a video. I'm sick and I might die. I actually got a video back from Seacrest. Check this out.
Hey Patrick, it is Ryan. Just want to let you know I got your message and I just thought it was so cool. I'm flattered and honored to know that I'm one of your favorite people. I also got a kick out of the fact that you, like me, love to travel so much. I think it's such a cool thing to be able to experience different cultures, different foods, meet new people, hear their stories. So we are brothers in that regard. I know you're there in Madrid going through it. The world's in such a crazy place, but just know that I am with you, thinking about you, and wishing you a super speedy recovery. All right, brother? You take care, Patrick.
If you know me well, you know that Ryan Seacrest is my favorite person in this world. So for him to send me back a video was just like insane. I was so excited to get that. He messaged me on Instagram. We chatted just a couple times back and forth, and hopefully I can still stay in contact with him. I'd love to meet him one day. I was so inspired, like, okay, you have to get better. You have to get better because you can meet Seacrest maybe at the end of this. You have to get better. So I was pushing through it. I never heard back from Henry Cavill though, so maybe I can, I don't know, I'm better now. So maybe he won't message me. About 2 more days of it being really difficult, of me not eating, me not being able to breathe, they brought in another gentleman. And for the first couple of hours when this new guy came in, I was annoyed with him. I felt like he was being dramatic and he was exaggerating a lot. When I realized that this gentleman was not kidding, that he was serious in his breathing, I wanted to take a recording so that people could hear what it sounds like when you have this virus. So I recorded a couple seconds of it, and I want you guys to hear this audio. I remember him breathing like this the entire time. Listen to this. That's hard to listen to. I remember thinking, if this guy doesn't get better, if he doesn't get help, if some miracle doesn't happen, this man won't recover. He's not going to make it. At this point, I was feeling better. This was about day 6, and the first couple hours of him coming into our room, he decided to get up and to walk to the bathroom. He needed to use the restroom. And I remember looking up out of the corner of my eye and seeing him start to wobble a little bit, seeing him start to lose his balance. And then as I look over there, this man, he just falls over. I saw that and I thought, oh my gosh, he just passed out because he can't breathe. I jump out of my bed, I run over there to try to help him up, but I couldn't. He was a bigger man, I couldn't get him up. I kept yelling, necesitamos ayuda, necesitamos ayuda. We need help, we need help. Finally, a lady looked around the corner and she looked at me. She ran to us and got like 3 other nurses. They all went inside. For the next day or 2, I tried to offer him my food because I knew I was getting better. I knew that I was getting my strength back. I knew he needed to eat. I was exactly where he was at. One person that helped me out so much during this was one of my good friends. Her name is Susan, and she kept telling me, buddy, the main thing you have to do is get up. You have to sit up. You have to go get your chair. You have to eat your food. You can't lay there because if you just sleep all the time, you're going to continue with this pneumonia. On day 7 of being in the hospital, they finally released me. And in order for them to release me, I had to go 3 days without a fever. So my last fever that I had was Thursday night. Thursday was the 9th day in a row that I had a fever. It finally broke on Thursday, and they released me on Monday. During my time in this hospital, they had given me 3 coronavirus tests. One at the beginning, when I was positive, they kept me in the hospital. And then they had given me one on Sunday and one on Monday. It was gone, I was COVID-free. This test that they administered is terrible. It's a long stick, essentially. It's like a toothpick stick with a swab on the end. And they tilt your head back and they stick it through your nose. And it goes 4 or 5 inches into your head, and it goes straight back, and they move it around. And that was probably the worst part of this entire virus. It hurts, and every time I would cry. I had spent 7 days in the hospital. There was a lot of anxiety in trying to get home. But I knew that I was flying from Madrid to Chicago. If I can get on the flight to Madrid, I know that I'll land in Chicago. At least if I'm stuck in the United States. When I landed in Chicago, every single person that came through from an international flight, of course, had to be tested with your fever. They had to ask you all these questions. Where were you coming from? I was in that airport for a while. They finally let me get on my next flight. My advice to you guys is to take this seriously. Don't go to the grocery store unless you have to. Do not go to Walmart just because you want to. Don't do that. Stay home. I know that in the United States, some states here are starting to open up. I'm not in politics. I'm not in public health. I think that's a mistake just because of what I've seen. I saw people suffocating next to me. I saw people who couldn't breathe. There were people in that hospital I was in that were dying from this virus every day. People were dying. I also think that my brain has blocked out so much of what I went through because I don't remember things until I sit down and think about it, and then I start to remember things that happened. I think my entire time in that hospital, I was just trying to stay positive. I was just trying to, not focus on people dying around me. I think about that man a lot. His name was Jorge. If they took his ventilator off, that man would suffocate. And that was scary. That's a very scary thing to realize. But I came through this. My body's recovered. I fought it. It was scary. It was difficult, but I did it. And I'm back and I'm safe and my family's safe. Everyone's okay here. But I know this is a heavier video. It's difficult to hear. It was difficult for me to experience. It was difficult for me to go through. I'm so thankful to God to have overcome it. I'm so thankful for my Spanish family, for Pilar and Valentin and Miguel, Nico, Valentina. I'm so grateful for them. I'm grateful for the doctors, for the nurses who helped me. Even though I wasn't a Spanish citizen, they still helped me. That's incredible. I'm so thankful for them. I'm thankful for everyone who sent me videos, the thousands of comments, the thousands of messages, the videos, the encouragement that I received. It was overwhelming. To Ryan Seacrest and to Leslie, my friend Leslie, who got his attention with her retweet on Twitter. I'm so thankful for everyone who prayed for me, for everyone who reached out, for everyone who texted me, for everyone who encouraged me, for everyone who shared my videos when I was in the hospital. Spreading awareness is all I wanted to do because if people could learn from my situation, it could help others. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. I know this was a little bit of a longer video. I didn't want to go this long, but thank you guys for listening. I love you so much, and hopefully I'll get back on this and start posting more videos, but I love you guys. Take care. God bless.